Welcome, heroes, adventurers, game breakers, speedrunners, all, or people who just love using cheat codes in order to get the best bang for their buck out of their game. Rocket Rabbit Commentaries is proud to present a game that is so long at the Final Four, the fourth installment of the series. A game so massive, a game so epic, a book so thick, a story so long that we simply cannot fit it into a reasonably sized playlist. That's why your commentators, Mr. Cloud and Mr. Gerdat, are bringing to you a very special kind of playthrough of Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls IV, the prequel to the critically acclaimed and massive award-winning hit Skyrim.
But it's not Grand Theft Auto 4.
And it's not Fallout, and it's not The Witcher 3, exactly.
Hey, speaking of, we just got a reveal trailer for Witcher 4, like, last night.
But do they really need to make a fourth Witcher game?
No, they do not.
Like, for example, it's been 12 years since Skyrim came out, saying, hello, where's my Elder Scrolls 6?
Hey, we have Elder Scrolls 6 in development, we promise. It's just behind that cloud that's just way up there. Yeah, that one.
Woohoo! And the extra content that we're loading, that's the Shivering Isles expansion, because I'm playing the Gold Edition of Oblivion, which comes with the Shivering Isles. And as I understand, Oblivion also has enjoyed a remaster on modern consoles like PS4. So you can enjoy this game in 1080p. You'll have to excuse the reduced, the maximized quality, let's say, but though this is the best that Xbox 360 could do. Yeah, we know the story of Oblivion. Old man is tired. Tired man dies. Bad things start happening to the country. Gates of hell open. Yeah, we understand that part. We're not concentrating on the story. We're not concentrating on the narrative or any of the main quests. We are going to rip this game to pieces from the inside out as a level 1 character.
Okay.
Now, in the interest of making a complete and repeatable playthrough, because you can do this just as easily as I can, viewers at home, your decisions as to your race, your birth sign, and your class all are going to have dramatic consequences on how you proceed through the game.
Oh, that's right. We start in prison, because every Elder Scrolls game starts you in prison, even Daggerfall, which is why I can't get out of the prison in Daggerfall, because there are rats in there and they do more damage to you than you do to them. Okay, I have gone on record in saying that I am actually a pretty negative Nancy, as it were, when it comes to the Elder Scrolls games. I am personally of the opinion that the Elder Scrolls melee combat has never actually been satisfying to play with. So I'm interested to see how much breakage we can get to in order to make Elder Scrolls melee combat, specifically in Oblivion, because this is a game that I have actually cleared the story on as a level 3 character. Yeah, because you need to get to at least level... Is it level 2 or 3 that you have to get your first Daedric artifact for?
I think you have to be at least a level 2 in order to get the Star of Azura, because the Daedric artifacts have base level requirements. In which case, you will get a message that says that you are simply not worthy to take on the quest.
Right. Now, Oblivion actually specifically incorporates a lot of leveling mechanics from older RPGs. Specifically, the more you do a thing, the better you become at doing the thing. So the reason why Cloud is, punching all of the tables here is because every time that he inflicts physical damage with his fists, his I believe it's his barehanded skill is going up, right?
Is the skill you're referring to is the hand-to-hand skill.
Okay.
Well, allow me to clarify also that Swinging your fist at the air or at inanimate objects does nothing. You have to inflict damage on characters in order to up your hand-to-hand skill.
Okay.
But it does follow on the basic principle that, yes, doing a skill over and over again makes you better at doing that skill.
Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
You know, yeah, you guys can go back to being mute, okay? We'll meet halfway. I have seen this tutorial at least 100 times.
Good. Let's go.
And there is a massive amount of scripting happening during this tutorial, by the way.
Hello, Emperor Septim. You're about to become dead by a secret passage.
In the final hours of my life. Uriel Septim as an NPC in this game is one of the most bizarrely designed characters in the game. His perception, his disposition towards you is permanently maxed out. So, and the thing is that you can't really take any actions to reduce his disposition. You can't persuade him in conversation. If you hit him, the blades that are taking him out the secret passageway are going to kill you. So you really have no chance at, you know, breaking the game at the onset.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, you can level up your acrobatic skill, max, while going through this area, and that will actually.
You can.
And while that won't actually do all that much for your combat skills, it will in fact make it so that you, I believe, maxing out acrobatics will actually increase your jump distance and height, right?
It definitely reduces the amount of damage you take when you fall from high places, and then it adds additional abilities like being able to dodge roll. You really can't do anything to speed up the tutorial either. That's why this part runs for as long as it does. We're showing the entirety of the tutorial for Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 4, because you have to go through the tutorial in order to do anything in this game.
Rats! I hate you, rats. You killed me in Daggerfall. Nah.
That's all right though. We minimize the difficulty also because minimal difficulty it's gonna speed up the game for you.
Okay.
If you're not interested in letting the tutorial,
and you already have access to that's restore health, right?
Yes, all characters in The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion start with a basic health spell and a basic fire spell. So you can use destruction magic, and you can use healing magic as well. What Skyrim did, which honestly I think was the enhancement that this game series was waiting for, is to just give you a static, automatic health regen that you don't have to wait. You don't have to find a bed. You don't have to, put one hand on the RB button, the other thumb up your ass while you're getting your health back up. That if enough time passes in the game, you'll just get full health back.
Although, increasing your restoration and destruction skill this early on is honestly preferable to just waiting.
And for the purposes of our playthrough, we have to get our destruction and our magic up. Because remember, we're doing this entire playthrough as a level 1 character, so how is a level 1 character going to hack it? Because no, we're not going to be at minimal difficulty for the rest of the game, thank God, because I found minimal difficulty Oblivion terribly boring. We are going to resume normal difficulty, but after a considerable amount of setup.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Weak potion of respite.
So between now and then, feel free to just lower the difficulty, punch your way through everything. There's really nothing precious in the tutorial. You can get some gold, you could get some ingredients, but all these things can be found outside of the tutorial dungeon as well.
Fruits.
So, just as a bit of background on my experience playing this game, this was my first Elder Scrolls game. I played this in 2006, right around the time when this game came out. I think it was my brother who introduced me to this game, and I picked up to it really, really quickly. I like the first-person style aspect. I loved the mechanic that you could just level up passively your skills in this game, like freaking athletics, for example. This is the first game I played where you got rewarded just for walking around, for instance. Although I suppose that that's not necessarily true, because if you put a Pokemon in the daycare center, you have to move around the world in order to level up your Pokemon. And, do you remember your earliest experiences with Oblivion, Mr. Gerda?
With Oblivion, no, because my first playthrough of Oblivion was only a couple of years back. But I do recall that my first Elder Scrolls experience specifically was Skyrim, and I disliked it a lot because of the same reasons that I've already gone over. I think that the melee combat in the Elder Scrolls series is absolutely jank as shit, and it doesn't actually and it's not actually all that good in Skyrim. And the thing is, Skyrim really does push you for your first couple of hours to be a stealth archer, because you get so much advantages from both being in stealth and attacking at range. Everyone makes the joke where, hey, I'm gonna start a Skyrim playthrough and not be a stealth archer, and then 4 hours later, I've maxed out my sneak skill.
Well, now you know how the guard took the arrow to the knee, of course. Stealth archery. He didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
The combat in this game is almost identical to the combat in Skyrim. Skyrim, at least, thankfully, has a better third-person mode than this game does. One thing that I strive to do, and I realized this much later in the playthrough, is, my god, I think I actually made third-person Oblivion playable. You just have to not play the game correctly in order to do it.
Okay, then.
Hotkeying items also is a thing that is available both in this playthrough and in any main quest playthrough for legitimacy purposes. We're going to be hotkeying quite a bit in order to achieve our goals.
Hotkeying the torch.
So many things to do. Oh, I remember this. The skulls hanging from the rope, so you could see the havoc physics engine at work. This was the part actually when I just fell in love with this game. Like, wow, this game is like the future of gaming.
All right. So, do you have any experience with Morrowind?
Unfortunately, no. And I understand that it is a shame that I never got a chance to play Morrowind. I understand that it is a great game in its own right, especially the remaster. And that was a point that I wanted to make about each of the installments of the Elder Scrolls 3 through 5, because I had never played Daggerfall either, so I can't really say anything about Daggerfall. They all feel a certain way, and this is a feeling that is good, but is also unique to the installment. This is a game that feels moldable. This is a game that you can shape to your will, versus Skyrim, which is like, this is the movie, this is the awards that it won, these are the actors that are in it, like, you better enjoy it or you're not going to have much a say in how it's going to play out. Like, and part of that is how freaking broken Oblivion is as a game. There are glitches that we're going to be exploiting. Characters getting like stuck in doorways and stuff is repeatable, common, and freaking hilarious to watch. That will just immediately, take you out of the sconce of your game experience and say, this is fucking ridiculous looking.
I like that these tutorial chests for lockpicking actually give you replacement lockpicks. That's nice.
More like the tutorial sets you up for the wrong kinds of expectations.
It
like,
does, to be perfectly honest.
So every chest is like this. No, not every chest is like this. Just like goblins don't typically have rat meat on them.
You're not supposed to fall down the pit, Mr. Pastcloud.
Really, the only thing I'm supposed to be doing right now is moving my slow fucking character to the doorway. Is finally the point. These guys go down in 2 to 3 hits. They don't have anything of value to us. We'll be getting into the items that you need in order to make your level 1 playthrough all that it can be. Oblivion is infamous for being a game that actually becomes more difficult as you level up your character.
Yeah.
You would think that leveling up your character would make the game easier because you're dealing more damage, you have more health, and you have higher defense. Not necessarily true. The hardest portions of this game actually occur between levels 12 and 25.
Really? It's that early on?
Yes. And it's the enemies that start coming out at that time are simply not balanced for how powerful your character is depending on your level up decisions. I.e., mountain lions. They can go to hell. The Daedra clan fears. They also can go to hell. But you will start facing these enemies at that level range. Now, when you advance to level 26 and above, yeah, now you're finally getting ahead of that curve. But it takes a wicked long time to get that level up. So now that we have returned to our Emperor Save the King party, we can select our birth sign. After these fools are done talking.
Must we, though? Alright, so... are we going for Atronach? Are we going for Steed?
We're going for Steed.
Okay.
In my opinion, Steed is the best birth sign in the game because it just automatically lets you move faster. The faster you move in Oblivion, the less damage you take, the less time it takes for you to go through environments, and it makes it easier to escape from situations.
Plus 20 to your speed attribute.
And 20 speed is a significant difference in our speed.
Whoosh!
Oh, sorry. I thought you were one of those guys that, like if I press the button enough times, he'll just stop talking. No, Boris is supposed to teach you that, hey, you can have conversations with these characters, too. If you ask them questions like, have you heard any rumors or stuff like that, yeah, they'll say things in response.
Yeah, but a majority of the time when you ask the city guard about rumors, you don't get anything for it. If you want info on rumors, you actually have to go and talk to, the tavern or the normal townsfolk.
Precisely, that different characters will give you different information. Sometimes characters will give you the same information. I hope you enjoy my little, pull the pants down gag that I pull on just about everybody that goes down in this game, because that's going to be a thing in this playthrough.
Oh, we don't have the ability to flay them yet?
No, you can't skin humans in this game.
Oh.
You're gonna have to drop more stuff than that, buddy. I can hold things. Handsome man had a plan. So the heaviest shit in my inventory right now is this stuff. So take care not to drop too many items in the environment because the game engine still has to apply physics to all the objects that you send into the environment. I'm looking at you, duplication glitch players.
I'm kind of surprised that you're not just spamming a restoration on our way through, because one of the things that I learned during my own Oblivion low-level run was that you don't actually need to heal in order to gain the restoration experience.
I'm afraid you're incorrect again.
No, I am not. I
Esteemed
tested it
college.
out multiple times. I was able to just stand and cast restore health on the PC version in order to grind my restoration. I didn't do it all that long, mind you, but I was able to do it.
I mean, that would have if I knew that would definitely would have saved me a lot of time during the grinding portion of this playthrough, because we can't really do any grinding right now, especially not in destruction.
Destruction.
Restoration.
I'm not entirely sure about destruction. I'm sure that destruction specifically actually requires you to, inflict damage on enemies, but restoration does not. You do not need to successfully heal HP for restoration to gain you experience.
In any case, restoration purposefully is a long and arduous challenge to actually getting your restoration skill all the way up. I didn't need your help, Boris.
You can't loot the king's robes.
No, you can't. On the subject of scripting, for Uriel Septim himself, he is the only human character in the game that you cannot loot the corpse of.
All right. So what class are we going for?
Monk.
Monk.
I picked Monk because the illustration for the Monk character resembles the type of character we're going to be playing as. We got our dukes raised for much of the active part of the playthrough, which is good that we're playing as Khajiit, because Khajiit naturally grants 15 points of hand-to-hand on top of any other bonuses that you gain when you're starting the game and as you level up.
Okay, then.
Major skills and minor skills in this game are one of people's least favorite things about Oblivion, is you can only level up your character by leveling up your major skills, and we just declared what our major skills are.
So one of the interesting ways to actually gain power then is to pick a class that doesn't actually specialize in the stuff that you want to do, and then spend a shitload of time, grinding your minor skills.
Correct. You want to choose for your major skills that you have a degree of control as to the timing when you use these skills, and you want control of timing so you can control the rate at which you level up your character. As we said earlier, you don't want to level up too quickly. You want to be ready for higher level opponents, and you do that by getting your attributes maxed out on each and every successive level up, because the minor skills that you use will count towards the gains to any of your core attributes, which you can elect to increase each time you level up. And this has been the entire tutorial of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, where nothing in the game is quite like this. This is why they give you one last chance to declare if you are all set modifying your character. And in the next episode, we are going to begin the end.